Thanks for joining us for another episode of Revisiting Roseanne, an episode-by-episode look at the original series, Roseanne. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I promise, I'll love you forever. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I distribute it? And how do I monetize this whole thing? The answer to each and every one of these questions, and more, is Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and super easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. So, if you want to join me and thousands of others who've started their own podcast, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. See you there. Season 1, Episode 2, We're in the Money. Here we are, 714 Delaware Street. We see that we have a new DJ. The original DJ was Sal Barone, but apparently there was some recasting, and we were given Michael Fishman, who continued to play DJ throughout the series. So the show opens up with Dan looking for his batteries. Can't find his batteries, and Becky throws it out there that maybe he should ask Darlene. Darlene apparently stole his batteries and put them in his radio. It's funny that most kids today will never understand this problem because the majority of things are rechargeable these days. But I remember back in my day, batteries were as good as gold in my house. So that's why I find that little scene funny. So after Dan and Roseanne exchange a few wisecracks about Dan buying junk, storing it in the garage, and it collecting dust, Dan mentions that he put in a bid for another job. Let's take a listen.
If I get that job tomorrow, I can buy myself one.
What job?
Over at Spikeman Construction. Putting in a bid on a drywall job. Great money if I get it.
You're not gonna get it.
See a lot of guys bidding.
And they're all better than you, I bet.
Hey, I'm pretty good.
You are not.
Yes, I am.
You're not either.
I am the best.
You're the worst.
I am the drywall master of the universe. Ah!
So if you don't know, now you know. Dan is the drywall master of the universe. Then we cut to Darlene and DJ playing around in the living room, acting a fool. Darlene's about to launch DJ off a board and more than likely break something. Roseanne quickly shuts this down because obviously they're doing something dumb and somebody's going to get hurt. Dan then walks in and we find out he got the job. Let's take a listen.
Porkridge, you got the job!
Drywall master of the universe. I figured it's called for some hardcore festivities.
I'd say so.
Hey, Sugar Plum Rosie, you should have seen it. Old man Spikeman calls me into his office, sits me down to tell me that I've got the job. And why? Because he wants the job done right. And when you want the job done right, you go to the best. You go to Dan, the drywall man.
Dan got the job. Dan, the drywall man. He also came home with $500 cash. And of course the kids think they're rich. They're screaming, thinking that they're going to get this and that and da-da-da-da. This one wants jeans, this one wants sneakers. And then they joke around that, they're going to get him a pool with a huge slide and a shark. And they realize that none of that's true. So later on that night, Dan and Roseanne sit down and at the kitchen table, take a look at their bills and find out they're only going to have an extra $11.87 to spare after all the bills are paid. Dan wishes he could have got a captain's bell for his boat, and Roseanne wishes she could have got some perfume that she really loves. Roseanne then suggests some bill payment alternatives. Let's listen.
Damn. I was hoping we'd have a little extra money to play around with.
Well, do you want extra money? Because, I have my own system for extra money.
All right.
Okay. First we send in the phone bill and we forget to sign the check.
There you go.
Then we send the water bill to the electric company and electric bill to the water company.
Now you're cooking.
And you know that charge card bill, it never even showed up.
But eventually, they decide to be responsible adults at the end. Or do they? After a quick discussion at work with Jackie and Crystal, Roseanne's longtime friend and co-worker, Roseanne stops at the store to just take a look at the perfume. Eventually she gets it. Dan, we also find out, got his captain's bell, which he tries to hide from Roseanne in the garage. They eventually find each other out, and at the end of the episode, it seems that they also got Becky some jeans and maybe a few other things. So we find out that, they need to do something for themselves every now and again. It can't just be work and pay bills, because you'll eventually go insane. This episode was a great look into the middle class and how the struggle is real. I know the struggle was real for me back in the day, and back then especially, TV shows didn't even mention money. Like, bills were just magically paid in these giant houses with these middle class, working class jobs, and it's like that didn't speak to me. This family struggling with money, worried about money constantly. That spoke to me, and that was real. That's why I love this show. Thanks again for stopping by and listening to another episode of Revisiting Roseanne. I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I love you forever. You're the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. And shoot us an email over at thepodcast and the number 2 at gmail.com. You can find it in the description, all that. You already know. I'll catch you on the next episode, which will be Season 1, Episode 3, Divorce.